changes in demand and the supply and capacity limitations we have been experiencing, it will be very important to focus in the transition, but also an increasingly resilient recovery is taking hold all across Europe thanks to substantive policy support measures over the past year and a half. Advanced European economies are set to expand by 5.2% in 2021, 0.3 percentage points of GDP higher than we expected in our July update. And emerging market economies will hit 6%, an upgrade of 1.1 percentage points. This issue, the market will deal with some of it, but government policy can support. We are expecting the inflation surge, which we are seeing right now, to fade out in 2022, next year. And therefore, we would actually expect that there is very little impact in the medium term on the productive capacity and the production of the economy. I think more important at this stage is what will happen with supply chain issues, whether these will be overcome. Again, our expectation is that that should happen in 2022.
You see additional risks for the country, and do you believe that the growth prospects will keep the debt on a sustainable trajectory?
So we don't at this stage expect any inflation spiral in Europe. The high inflation which we are seeing right now is really driven by the main driver is an increase in energy prices, and we expect that to fade out during 2022. You have an increase in oil prices. Oil prices actually are going back to pre-pandemic levels because of the strong demand which is in place, and you would expect that to respond. In terms of risks, there's one big downside risk for the Western Balkans, and these are the low. And in generally, the underlying inflationary momentum in the euro area is just not there. And so the expectation is that in the medium term, inflation will increase to 1.8%. That would still be below the ECB's target. So not a concern at this stage for the euro area. And we also know that if these concerns were to arise, the ECB can react. We know what to do with inflation. The tools are in place to react to these kind of pressures if they were to materialize. Chain disruptions and demand-supply mismatches is another part of the inflation story which we are seeing. Again, we would expect